Your life feels heavy for a reason, and it's not your fault. It's not because you need a bigger house or a better planner. Sometimes, the real reason you can't breathe is simple. You're carrying too much of what you don't need. Maybe the reason you feel so overwhelmed isn't because your life is broken, but because your life is overcrowded, and your mind has forgotten how silence feels. So let me start with a scene that explains everything. A tiny mole walks up to a pond, takes one clean sip of water, and walks away. No hoarding, no overthinking. No, what if the pond disappears tomorrow? Meanwhile, humans walk into a store for toothpaste and somehow come out with a blender, 3 scented candles, and a crisis about the meaning of life. Welcome to modern existence, where we have more than ever, but feel emptier than ever. But what if the real wealth isn't what you add, but what you let go? Today we're diving deep into the psychology of minimalism, not the aesthetic Instagram version, but the ancient, liberating philosophy that has helped people find peace long before the world became obsessed with more. The rising action, how we got lost in more. Xu Yu, an old Chinese hermit, once saw a mole drink only what it needed. 1 sip, done. And then he looked at humans, creatures hauling so much stuff. Our stuff now needs its own storage units. We've confused I have more with I am more. And we pay for it with stress, burnout, and an identity built on what we own instead of who we are. Possessions became personality. Houses became hierarchy. Logos became self-worth. No wonder we're exhausted. So many people carry a weight that isn't even theirs. Expectations, comparisons, old fears, and they confuse that heaviness with responsibility. Minimalism entered the scene like a whisper of rebellion. What if you don't actually need all that? It wasn't new. Ancient sages knew that the more you own, the more your possessions end up owning you. And they preferred freedom, the kind that doesn't come with monthly payments. But not all minimalism's healthy. Some people hear less and think, 1. Extreme ascetic mode. I eat 1 grain of rice a day. Siddhartha Gautama tried it. Nearly vanished. Turns out enlightenment is hard if you're too weak to stand. Even he eventually said, yeah, this isn't it, and walked away. 2. Luxury minimalism. I own nothing except my $40,000 sofa. You've seen the aesthetic. A $2 million apartment with 3 objects, all of them designer. That's not minimalism. That's consumerism, doing yoga, and pretending to be humble. True minimalism isn't about showing you own less. It's about showing that things don't own you. We live in a culture where status is measured by the car you drive, the house you display, the brands that speak louder than your personality. It's a reality spectacle where everyone is quietly competing for validation. Shopping malls became temples. Buying became prayer. And anyone who dares to step outside this ritual is treated like a heretic. But here's the twist. Some of the happiest people in history owned almost nothing. Wisdom from those who chose less. Emperor Yao once offered Xu Yu an entire empire, all under heaven. Xu Yu politely declined. When the tailor bird builds her nest, it uses just 1 branch. Why take more? This wasn't poverty. This was clarity. The less you own, the less you fear losing. Lao Tzu warned, flaunt your treasures, and people will envy or steal them. The wealthy often hide behind walls, alarms, and silent anxiety. The minimalist sleeps peacefully because nothing is chasing them. Minimalism isn't about owning nothing. It's about not being owned by what you own. If you've ever sat in a perfectly decorated room and still felt lonely, that's your inner self whispering that fulfillment doesn't come from what surrounds you, but from what supports you. The joy of enough, a different kind of rich. Why buy a 1,000 square foot garden when the entire forest is free? Why torture yourself paying for a mansion when a simple shelter can free your time, your mind, and your life? Thoreau understood this. He moved to a cabin near Walden Pond, not to escape life, but to finally live it. When your expenses shrink, your freedom grows. Stress drops. Joy rises. Life becomes something you feel again, not something you endure. And if you're tired, truly tired on the inside, it's not a personal failure. It's a sign that you've been giving too much of your life to things that give nothing back. The golden path, minimalism, that actually works. You don't need to live in a barrel like Diogenes. Though, respect to him for throwing away his cup because a child proved hands work just fine. For the rest of us, there's Epicurus, the philosopher who created the psychologically healthy model of simple living. He divided desires into two categories. 1, natural and necessary, the good desires, food, shelter, friendship, human connection. These are easy to satisfy and deeply fulfilling. 2, vain and empty, the endless desires, fame, power, wealth, status. These have no limit. Try to satisfy them, and you'll chase forever. Epicurus cautioned, do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Gratitude is a psychological reset button, one most people forget exists. The real definition of wealth. Minimalists don't reject wealth, they redefine it. True wealth isn't a bigger house, a shinier car, a longer receipt. True wealth is peace, time, clarity, the ability to enjoy life rather than escape from it. Possessions fade, status crumbles. But contentment? That's bulletproof. Thoreau said it best. Living simply isn't hardship. It's a pastime. So now, ask yourself gently, not as judgment, but as compassion. Are you living like the mole, or like the human buying things to fill a space that's actually emotional? If this helped you breathe a little deeper, tap like. It tells YouTube this message matters. Comment below. What's one thing you're choosing to release this week? And if you're ready to build a lighter, freer life, subscribe and join this journey. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply let go.